Cecelia Shepard graduated from high school June of 1965 at San Gabriel Academy in San Gabriel, California, in Southern California. Bryan Hartnell was 2 class years behind Cecelia, and he was a junior in the 1965-66 school year. And so he was attending Laurelwood Academy in Gaston, Oregon, which is in the Portland, Oregon area. After graduation from high school, Cecelia went to La Sierra College in Riverside, California. And so that's where she did her first year of college, 1965 to 66. Then in the year 1966-67, she continued her college in Riverside at La Sierra College. When creating this video sequence, I noticed that Cecelia shared a common hairdo with Sherry Jo Bates, who was murdered on October 30th, 1966. So this is Sherry in 1966 and Cecelia Shepard in 1967. In 1967, Cecelia transferred to Pacific Union College in Northern California by Lake Berryessa. So she completed her junior year of college in June of 1968. This was the same school year that Bryan Hartnell enrolled in college at Pacific Union College. And in his yearbook, the scan, they cut off part of his photograph. So sorry about that. Now, Cecilia's senior year was completed at Pacific Union College in June of 1969. And then after she graduated, she moved down to Southern California, and she spent the summer in Southern California. Now, after the completion of Bryan Hartnell's second year of college, he moved during the summer to live in Troutdale in the Portland, Oregon area. Now, Cecelia Shepard had a great interest in music, and so she went to grad school, and she went to UCR Riverside, University California Riverside in Southern California, and she did not complete that school year because she was murdered in September. Bryan Hartnell started his third year of college at Pacific Union College, and he was attacked in September by the Zodiac killer. But after he recovered, he finished his third year of college. September 27, 6:30 p.m., a sunny Sabbath afternoon, found 2 Pacific Union College youth in the balance of life and death on the quiet shore of Lake Berryessa. The story is nationally known, especially by fellow Seventh-day Adventists whose hearts beat for them. Bryan Hartnell and Cecelia Shepard were left for dead by an assailant who tied them at gunpoint and repeatedly stabbed them. Linda Johnston, Joanne Chase, and Linda Jensen. 3 girls saw what may have been the alleged attacker at a root beer stand at Sugarloaf at 2:55 p.m. and then later at 3:30 p.m. at Lake Berryessa on the shoreline while they were sunbathing. This is a composite drawing of a man seen by 3 persons Saturday afternoon at Lake Berryessa shortly before 2 young people were stabbed by a hooded assailant. Miss Brown stated that about 5:15 p.m. Saturday, 9/27/69, she was in the Lake Berryessa area with a male companion, Mr. John Anderson, 22 years of age, also a student at Pacific Union College. She stated at this time they were parked on the Knoxville Road, approximately 1 mile south of the Lake Berryessa Marina. She stated shortly after they parked the vehicle, they observed the victims who were known to them, Bryan Hartnell and Cecelia Shepard, driving south on Knoxville Road in Bryan's white Karma Ghia. She stated as the Hartnell vehicle drove by, Bryan waved out the window and said, "Hi, John," referring to Mr. Anderson. Miss Brown stated they did not see the Hartnell vehicle any other time that day. They heard footsteps, and the killer stepped from behind a tree dressed in his hood and carrying a revolver. Hartnell said the attacker looked paunchy and was of medium height, wearing older style clothes like pleated pants and black hood with a circle with a cross. The murderer first asked for money. Hartnell said he told the man he only had a small amount of change, but would help him get funds if he needed them. I tried to keep the conversation in a light vein, but he still insisted on tying us up, Hartnell said. Ranger Dennis Land, age 32, was the one to receive the emergency call at 7 p.m. His partner, Ranger William Bill White, age 50.
Yeah, when I arrived on the scene at Saturday night around 7:13, found this young girl in on the shoreline here, all stabbed in several places. And her boyfriend, male companion, had came to from, he had been stabbed, and he had taken off for help. And the other patrolman came in, which is Dennis Land. He found him some 100 yards from here, passed out. So he brought him back to the scene of the where the girl was.
Next on the scene was Deputy David Collins, age 30, and Deputy Ray Land, age 34, the brother of Ranger Land. Napa City Police Officer David Slate, age 24, was the one who received the phone call from the Zodiac killer at 7:40 p.m. Deputy Donald Townsend, age 38, was in charge of the investigation.
7:40 p.m., Officer Slate at the Napa Police Department received this call, and the subject stated, I want to report a murder. No, a double murder. They are about 2 miles above park headquarters in Lake Berryessa, and they are driving a Volkswagen Karma Ghia. And with that, the officer asked, well, where are you now? And he stated, I did it, and with that, the officer could feel that there was nobody on the line. He said, "Are you there? Are you there?" And there was no answer.
Victim Hartnell thought suspect was probably 20 to 30 years of age by voice concept. Victim stated suspect was between 5 feet 8 inches tall to 6 feet, weight between 225 and 250 pounds, dark brown hair, eyes unknown, sloppy dresser, stomach hanging over trousers. Subject spoke with some kind of drawl or accent or something. Cecelia gave up the unequal struggle on Monday, September 29, the daughter of Elder and Mrs. Robert Shepard. Cecelia was a graduate of San Gabriel Academy. She attended the La Sierra campus on Loma Linda University for 2 years and Pacific Union College for 2 years. Sheriff Earl Randall, age 41. On October 23, 1969, the Napa County Sheriff sent to the FBI fingerprints and requested them to check these 3 individuals: Griffin Raymond Franklin, Thomas Leonard Southern, and Aubrey Dwight Bailey. Griffin Raymond Franklin, so here's a look at him. I did a video on Raymond. Thomas Leonard Southern, age 25. Unfortunately, after looking for a long time, I couldn't find a photograph of him. He's from Texas, and he moved to Vallejo a few years before this attack at Lake Berryessa. Aubrey Dwight Bailey, age 35. He's from Kansas, and he moved to Northern California and then to San Francisco. And here's a look at his military registration card during the Korean War. And looking at the back, it provides the following information: that his eye color was blue, hair color was brown, his complexion was fair, he was 6 foot tall, and weighed 167 pounds in 1951 when he lived in Kansas. After the murder of Paul Stine, the sheriff of Napa got in contact with the police chief in Riverside to see about if the Zodiac killer first killed Sherry Jo Bates on October 1966. So it's kind of a myth that newspaper reporter Paul Avery is the one that found a connection. Well, this ends this episode of Unsolved, and the next episode in this series will be about the murder of Paul Stine in San Francisco, and then after that episode will be the last episode in this series about the murder of Sherry Jo Bates in Riverside, California, prior to these murders.